First of all, I'm so thrilled and honored to be part of this, because I really believe that the unit of survival into the future is going to be local communities. And what I've witnessed here is the heart of a very, very powerful community. The mayor of Tecumseh was saying, you know, how responsive he is when young people like Sam come to him or he gets handwritten letters. It's at the local level that I really see the opportunity, the real responsiveness to public concerns. So I congratulate you all in being a part of this very strong community. I look forward to seeing in the coming years is getting more and more strong. I just wanted to end on a story. Years ago, the people, I've forgotten the name. People of a village called Clem-Two began to log an island called Princess Royal Island. This is off the west coast of British Columbia. Princess Royal Island was the home of what has come to be called a spirit bear. This is a white version, not an albino, but a pure white version of black bears, and they're found along the west coast and highly revered by environmentalists and First Nations. But this community began to log on Princess Royal Island, and environmentalists were worried that the bear might be lost on the island. So they asked if I would go into Clem-Two and talk to the people. I flew. This Clem-Two can only be reached by air, or by a float plane, or by boat. There's no road into it. Tiny community of 200 people, but a huge territory that they own. When I flew into the community, I was greeted by all 200 people in the village. They met me at the float, took my bag up to the room I was to stay in, and welcomed me. And that night there was, in the longhouse, all 200 people were there. And the table was set with this incredible feast of crab and oysters and clams and salmon and herring eggs, and it was just an amazing feast. And at the end of the meal, Percy Starr, the counselor, chief counselor of Clem-Two, got up and said, "We're very poor. We need money, and that's why we have to log Princess Royal Island." And when it was my turn to get up, I said, you know, I live in a very rich part of Canada, in Vancouver. There are probably 3 times as many people on the block I live on than in all of Clem-Two. I only know, I've lived there for 30 years, and I only know about 10 people on that block. My car has been broken into, our house has been robbed twice. I could never put on a feast like the one that you have put on for me this evening. Even with all the money, I could never put on a feast. I said, you are rich in something we have lost in the city. You've still got community, and you are fortunate beyond imagination. Your forests are still intact. Your oceans are still rich and yielded that meal to us. And I can tell you that we in Vancouver are looking for what you still have. Don't confuse money with wealth. Your wealth is your forests and your oceans and your community. Don't lose that just to buy Nike shoes and you know, a Sony Discman or whatever we have to walk around. I think that's a really important thing. You know, we look up to other communities and we say, oh gosh, they're so rich, and here we are, we're struggling. But don't give up the things that are really so precious. We must never lose them. And I feel today in this tent, you know, that sense of community that the Clem-Two people had. So congratulations for that. I also have to say, Ken and I met, when was that meeting in Ottawa?
January.
In January.
Last January?
Yeah, it was a year
November.
ago.
Oh, sorry, September.
September last year. That's when we met. And we began to talk then about what can we do together, because there is a real challenge for us. And I'm so glad then that Andrew contacted Ken and that we were able to put something like this on. But Ken, you did an amazing job. I had my doubts. He didn't tell me a damn thing about what he was going to do. But I guess I told you, just drag my ass around and put me up and do whatever you want. Anyway, well done. Well done.